All right, now we welcome Bruce Terry to West of Tulsa. He's the metal fabricator on Platypus. Talk to us about, I mean, this is craftsmanship right here. Talk about what it took to put all this together.
Well, there was a section of the original aircraft that we used. We wanted to have some element of it reused, but the rest of the body was refabricated totally.
You knew the original metal you said wasn't usable.
Right. So we had to make the entire rest of the body from scratch.
Wow. Yeah. The fenders. How much time goes into not just designing it, but then building it? Because that is pretty creative on what you guys came up with.
Absolutely. Those fenders are very complicated. There's split pods, front and rear. There's hundreds of hours in designing and building these.
And this is the metal. That's how thin it is for much of the
50 thou. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so talk about forming it and the rivets. I mean, talk about all that, because this is craftsmanship that a lot of people would just love to hear about.
Well, everything is hand formed. I built a buck that represented the shape out of wood. And by using that as a guide, we built a buck for the front pods, the rear pods, and a buck for the entire body. And then the pieces are made individually, one at a time, by hand. I use the wheel. Some guys use a power hammer. Then those pieces are welded together. I've never built an airplane before. I've always built cars. So I had to kind of do some research on how to put this stuff together. And it was just such a great opportunity to build something that's like an airplane with wheels and a motor in it.
And what's the weight? So all this, we were talking about how light, strong, but how light is it?
This entire pod weighs 7 pounds. I mean, you can lift it up you can lift 2 of them up like this. Wow. So we were just, Dana and I were just discussing that, what's the potential weight, and I believe it's around 300 pounds just for the body.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful work. Can you show us, since you did this all by hand, show us the machine you used to form the metal?
Right here.
Yeah, there it is. That's the machine right there.
There's a machine nut in here too. Now the really tricky part about forming sheet metal, like once you have a buck made, there's the wooden representation of the shape, 3-dimensional shape. The tricky part is making each piece exactly correct. And then each of those pieces go together like a puzzle, and they end up making the whole piece. So a lot of people think, oh, you make that whole piece. No, never. It's always sections of pieces. These are made of many pieces, and then it's meticulously welded, and meticulously filed, and meticulously sanded smooth.
How many hours just for this?
Oh God, throw the hours at me.
Because that's a lot of work.
I would say probably 100, 150 hours just to make one of these. But a lot of people come and look at that and they don't have any idea how it's actually done.
Yeah.
So these are anvils. Some of these I got in Australia, very specialized shapes. So every anvil has a different contour, depending on the complexity of the shape you're making. And when you're making a really smooth panel, like a hood panel or whatever, you want an almost flat connection between there and there. This is my upper wheel, lower wheel. And there's a real art to use, which anvil, these are called anvils, which ones to use, and not end up getting too strong with the wrong shape. So when you're making a really smooth panel, you have tracks that are about 1.5 inches wide. And so you end up the art is to move the panel back and forth, and you're compressing the aluminum, and you end up with a smooth shape.
So it would just go in here like this and just go back and forth.
Yeah.
You just get the form you need.
It's called tracking.
Right.
And so when you have a really big panel, the hard part is you need, like in England, they have somebody on the other side.
And you go back and forth.
And then you guys have to get this perfect rhythm with each other, and holding the weight, counterbalance and balance, and to what they call neutral, where you're putting no pressure because you're not leaning on it this way or that way, and you're just rolling it through there. It's a real art form. But I love this wheel. It's going to be with me till the day I die and beyond.
Wow, that's beautiful. And so this is what you use to form all the aluminum.
This is what I use to
Platypus.
build the entire body. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
Bruce, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure.
I appreciate it. This is a treat to see it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching West of Tulsa.
Thank you.